You're listening to the VegasTourist.com podcast episode number 222. Hit it, Carl. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Yes, this is the VegasTourist.com podcast. This episode is titled Vegas Girls Night Out, Talking with a Local.
Ooh, fun stuff.
How you doing there, sweetie?
Pretty good.
All right. This is going to be a short intro because, A, we're both burned out from the last 2 weeks of chasing cowboys and bulls and
Running up and down stairs.
visiting Dr. Lonnie's house.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun.
So what do you think of Dr. Lonnie's house?
Organized chaos. Unorganized chaos. Really cool chaos.
Museum? Museum of Strange and Weird Objects plus Vegas history.
Yeah. Way to get lost.
Easy. Easy.
Fun way to get lost.
3 houses.
You want to spend a few hours getting lost? That's a fun way to do it. You can never see the same thing twice. You could spend a whole day in each room.
And then PBR World Finals. You got to rock out with Lita Ford.
I did.
And the old guy.
The old guy, Steven Tyler?
Yeah. Somebody needs to tell him he died.
No, he's still rocking strong.
He looks like he died years ago.
Well, he's lived a fun life.
Yes. It was an interesting PBR World Finals, I will say that. As always, the links are found up on the website, which is
TheVegasTourist.com.
Hey, you got it right this time.
Okay, so question.
Yes.
Who's your interview with this week?
My interview. I have an interview. Oh, yeah, I do have an interview.
You do have an interview.
It is a genuine, lifelong Vegas local.
No such
She was
thing.
born and raised here. Actually,
Wow.
Well, let me back that up. Her family moved to Boulder City in the 1940s.
Wow. There wasn't much there then.
So she was raised and still lives in Boulder City. So she was raised with that small town deal, but she also went to school and grew up with Vegas.
Yeah.
You know.
Got the best of both worlds.
So the interview just kind of rambled along and just kind of went one topic after another because it's fun to talk to somebody like that. You know, she talks about, because we get into when Vegas is your reality.
Right.
You know, when your high school prom is at the ballroom of the Riviera or Caesar's Palace, and to you it's just like, yeah, okay.
And?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Everybody doesn't have someplace like that?
Yeah. You know, prom night, you drove down the strip in a limo because, well, somebody knew the
or a
bellman.
party bus.
No, back then they didn't have them.
Oh, but nowadays they do.
You know, but it's that whole, you know, someone you went to school with, his dad was the doorman so he got the cars, and it's just like normal reality.
Yep.
And then
it wasn't what you knew, it was who you knew.
Right.
Well, it still is like that.
You know, and now she's part of an entertainment company, so they go to other towns to see shows, and you know, they're like, "Oh, we're partying until 1:00," and it's like, "Well, then what?" Well, then they close the bar down, and she's like, "They do what?"
Last call? What's last call? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Who are we calling?
Yeah. And you know, and just how Vegas is so different than other towns, and that's why certain shows are successes, certain shows are failures, because of that whole Vegas is not New York,
or any place else for that
right?
matter.
And you know, and again, this was one that I got a whole bunch of stuff that you won't hear because she's like, this is off the river. Yeah, okay, shit.
Turn it off. Turn it off. I'll
Yes.
tell you this.
Yeah. So her name is Bri Steck. She's married to Adam Steck. Adam, he founded SPI Entertainment, Steck Productions International. Adam did shows for Tina Turner, Elton John, Prince, and things like that. Now they do shows here.
We'll have to get an interview with him.
Would love to, because he spent some time growing up in Iowa. they have shows like the Mike Tyson Show, Human Nature, Thunder from Down Under.
Oh, goody.
Yes. So she herself runs what's called Vegas Girls Night Out, a boutique concierge service for women. With Vegas having so many show options and dinner options, and you know, this starts at 8, this starts at 10.
So she handles a package deal,
right?
And get you where you need to go.
As a woman, you're coming to Vegas with a bunch of your friends. You have different needs than men have, and here you can just arrange everything. They make the reservations. They pay everything. They give you the itinerary. You show up. They move you from place to place?
Yep. Wow.
Limousines available, the whole works, and so there's no waiting in line. There's no bill.
Wow.
Everything.
Shoot, sign me up.
Yeah. So if your show starts at 9 o'clock, dinner's going to be at 7. It's going to be at this restaurant. You're going to walk right in. You're going to be seated. You're going to be fed. You're going to get out. The limo's going to take you.
You're going to scoot you to the next place.
Right. And like you and I watched over at Hakkasan. Want to go into the nightclub? It's already paid for.
It's already arranged.
They just walk you through. There you go.
That's cool.
No sheep pens or cattle calls or anything like that. Just walk right in. There it is.
And from our experience, that's a fun little battle all in its own.
It is. So she takes care of this. Her company takes care of all of this. So it's
sounds like a fun little business.
This is kind of an interesting interview because we kind of cover all kinds of things. So here is Las Vegas territory member Bri Steck, SPI Entertainment.
Beck or Speck?
Steck. I'm Mark Anthony. This is the VegasTourist.com podcast. I'm with Bri Steck of SPI Entertainment. Hello there.
Hi.
You are also a Las Vegas territory member.
Yes.
Cool. All right. What is SPI Entertainment?
We are a production company. So we produce several shows on the Strip. Some of them you've probably heard of. Thunder from Down Under.
Yep.
You know Thunder, right? Human Nature, Jukebox, it's over at the Venetian. We partner with Divas Las Vegas, Frank Marino. We have an Australian Bee Gees show.
I love that show.
It's amazing. It's so much fun. Little dance floor and everything. What else do we have? Boys to Men is one of our shows. Mike Tyson, Undisputed Truth.
How did you get that one?
That's all my husband.
Okay.
He definitely tells the story a lot better than me, but he came up with the idea.
Mike did, or?
No, Adam did.
Okay.
And coincidentally, so was his wife, already thinking about it as well. And Mike Tyson happened to go to the same spa as my husband, and he saw him there. And he asked the spa attendant to give him his business card. And the next day, Mike's wife, who's also his manager, called Adam, and the rest is history.
That was it.
Yeah, Adam is the first Las Vegas producer to bring a show from Vegas to Broadway.
Really?
It's usually the other way around.
Okay, now your husband is the founder of SPI.
Yeah, he's the founder. SPI stands for SPI Productions International, which is his name.
Okay.
And now mine too.
How long have you been married?
We're having our anniversary October 20th, and it'll be 4 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. I have met Mike from afar. Have you met him? Is he?
Yeah.
Is he really nice?
He's a cool guy. He's very interesting, super intelligent, very, very intelligent. I don't know if you've ever read that book, Outliers, where if you do something 10,000 times, that's how you become an expert at whatever it is, or the best at whatever it is. That's Mike Tyson, especially when it comes to boxing. I mean, he would read kung fu books and the art of whatever fighting it might be. He's read it. He knows it. He studies it. I mean, that's why he was the best in the world. And his approach to what he's doing now is very similar. He's a really cool guy, and his wife, they make a really great team.
Now, also you do night school for girls.
That's one of my babies.
You do that with one of the people we interviewed.
Vanya?
Vanya.
Yeah.
We were at the Pole Expo.
Yeah, definitely.
That wasn't what I was expecting.
I've never been. I just have never been to the Pole Expo, but I hear so many great things about it. It's on another level.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You don't think strippers. Think Think something completely different.
I mean, you watch them on the pole, and it's almost like going to a Circus Olay show. You're like, how do they?
Amazing.
And you're turning your head, going, that's gotta hurt.
Oh yeah, actually, I don't know. Michael Jackson 1 has a pole dancer in it, but when they did the original in the arena, they had a really cool pole dancing routine in that show.
Wow.
It is one of the most difficult things you could do. It's so difficult, the upper body strength that you need to be able to pole dance. But our class is totally different. We just do it for fun. It's not for exercise or for becoming a legitimate pole dancer. So ours is all based on a bachelorette party and having fun and just learning basic things and chair dance and things like that.
Now I am fascinated by your little segment of the business.
Mm-hmm.
The Vegas Girls Night Out. What is that?
Yeah, so that's my baby. That's where I can definitely speak more intelligently about. So Vegas Girls Night Out, we are a boutique concierge service only for women. Men can call and we'll help them out and we'll sell them tickets, and we don't have a problem with that. But we like to focus on the female market because we feel that women know women best. Yeah. We know how to plan your trip. We're very detail oriented, which is very important for women. Price conscious, so we create packages, pre-made packages, unlike any competitors, that aren't too expensive. We're conscious of the budget that women are working in because our customers typically are a group of 8 to 10 or more, and they're coming for a bachelorette party. That's the typical. We do birthday parties. Right. We just do generic girls' night out. I mean, you don't need an excuse to come to Vegas. 95% of our customer is from out of town. So we don't really work with locals. We work more with the tourist market. So we put into consideration their travel, their hotel rooms, how much money they're spending on the trip. And now this is extra. The shows, the limos, the dinners, the nightclubs, all of that.
When did it become a niche?
Well,
or why did you see it as a niche?
My thing, because I am a native, I would always have people asking me, say, hey, we really want to go to a nightclub. Can you get us in here? Hey, what restaurant should we go eat at? What nightclub is the best nightclub to go to? I'm constantly being asked these questions. And then the next thing, but I don't want to pay. But I want it for free. Can you get me a discount? Do you have a hookup? So then I thought, okay, everybody is asking me. We need to create something where I can say, just go here. Just go to this website because I've done all the work for everybody. So you don't want to spend a lot of money. Perfect. You want to spend $35, $45 on dinner? Okay, great. I've got that covered. Oh, you want to spend a little bit more money? Well, I have that covered too. You want to go to Giada? Here's a great prefix menu. And guess what? At the end of it, you don't need to go around the table to every girl and try and get cash because nobody carries cash anymore.
Right, yeah.
Don't worry about it because you're going to prepay. You're going to deal with it before your trip comes. So when you get here, you don't have anything to worry about. You can literally get up from dinner and walk away because your bill will be covered and the tip.
Wow.
You don't have to worry about it. You've paid for it in advance.
You've
figured out the budget with everybody and you're done.
When you came into this as a business, did folks say, well, there can't be that much of a difference from girls coming here and couples coming here? But there is.
Oh, there's such a difference. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going on a trip with my husband, I'm doing something completely different and my budget is different because we're both paying for it. When you're going with a group of girls, each individual girl is on a completely different budget, So as the maid of honor for the party, I now have to work with 7 or 8 or 10 different budgets. If it's me and my husband, we know what we can spend. We know what we're going to be able to do and what we want to do.
But now with that, you have a group of women. It's not just about the parties, is it? Or is there a segment of that it's just women that are high school buddies, college friends. They just
Whatever it
want to
might
come
be.
together without the family, without the dog, without the children,
Yep.
and just have a nice
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of the experience and what they're taking away. So also as a Vegas native, it's very important for me for anybody that comes to Vegas that they absolutely loved it and had a great time. And they, in their mind, go back and look at those pictures and say, oh my God, Vegas was the best. We have to do this again. That was the most fun I've ever had. That's what we want. When they leave and they're flying home or they're driving home, they turn to their friends and they say, we're doing this again. That's at the end of the day what we want everybody to.
When you, as a person in the production business, when you go to a different town and you see a show, do you compare it to the way that show would be if it was in Vegas?
Of course. Well, I'm married to a producer, so
Yeah.
you don't ever go to a show and that's the end of it. You talk about it after you leave. But for example, Broadway, it is completely different than Vegas. That's why so many Broadway shows come to Vegas and they don't work. It's a different audience. A Broadway goer is not the same person that's interested in a Vegas show. It's something completely different. It's.
But when somebody goes to Broadway to see, or as an example that I use, people go to New York to go to Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go to Vegas to see a Broadway show.
Right.
They will see a Broadway show in Vegas, but that's not the purpose of the trip.
Right.
It's just another aspect of it. So the show has got to be presented a little differently here than it is.
And it depends on the show. So for example, Thunder from Down Under, that's a destination show. Most of our groups, not all of our groups, most of our groups are coming to Vegas specifically to see Thunder from Down Under. So they're booking anywhere from 3 to 6 months in advance. If they don't, they're most likely not getting a ticket. In spring and summer, we're sold out every single Saturday.
Wow.
And we do 3 shows on Saturdays. In the spring and summer, we do 13 shows a week. We sell out. So these girls, they start planning 3 to 6 months in advance because the bachelorette party is second to the wedding in importance. So they don't want to lose getting that ticket. And if you're a large group, you have to be together. So that's a destination show. They're specifically coming to Vegas for that. Our groups are.
Right.
Some other shows, yes and no. It just depends, and that's where I think publicity comes in. Having a great publicist, getting the name out. For example, Human Nature. It skews all demographics. Their new show, Jukebox, have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but from my guests on a tour that have.
You have to see it.
Yeah.
It is so good. It doesn't matter what your age is, you will love the show because it's called Jukebox now.
Right.
They just launched their new show last January, and it takes you through the decades of music. So you'll have everything from 90s pop to the Beatles to Motown to Bruno Mars. It's amazing.
Okay.
You're dancing. It doesn't matter how old you are, you'll love the show. But it does skew a little bit towards like a baby boomer demographic. They'll go and do PR, and that people will see them and say, I need to go to Vegas and see this show. And then they'll go on TripAdvisor and they'll say, oh wow, it's one of the top shows, if not number one.
Yeah.
When we go, we have to see the show. So they're starting to become more of destination shows where people are saying, if I'm going to Vegas, I have to see the show. Boys to Men is another example. We have people that plan their trip around seeing Boys to Men. They don't perform every single weekend, and they're not 5 days a week. Their schedule's a little bit sporadic. But people will specifically come to see Boyz II Men. Same with Mike Tyson, especially international guests. They'll plan their trip to see him and make sure that he's going to be in town.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of our shows, it just depends what it is, are starting to become destination shows.
I saw the Australian Bee Gees show, and I have got to admit, I was never a Bee Gees fan. I am in that disco era, hated it, hated them. My girlfriend got some tickets to it, and she dragged me to it, and it was awesome.
They sound like them and look like them.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Well, now that they're all dead, but it really surprised me of that level of a show at Excalibur.
And the price point. It's not a super expensive show. So you can go and still have a great time.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so much fun. And then did you do the dance floor? Did you dance?
No. I have 2 left feet.
It doesn't matter. Anybody can do this. That's not very hard.
That is the one. That is the one thing that did shock me, is that show had a dance floor.
Yeah, it's cute, isn't it?
You know?
It's fun because it makes it interactive. You're not just sitting there watching a show. You're getting up, you're getting involved. And I think that's something that when Adam, and he works with the shows because he co-produces with everybody.
Right.
That's one of the things that I like that he and that the spy shows bring into it, is more of like an interactiveness, because it's fine to sit there and watch a show, but when you can kind of participate or dance or have a good time, I think almost every one of our shows has some sort of interactive, experience to it, which is fun, And if you don't want to do it, you don't have to go to the dance floor, but it's fun if you are on a Saturday night.
Now, the company's been around since 2000.
Well, Spy technically has been around, I think, longer than that.
Okay.
Maybe in Vegas, but he's been doing this since he was a teenager.
He has looking on the website, he's got an impressive.
Very impressive.
background.
Very, yeah.
And so when I looked you guys up and I saw the shows, I went, oh, this is going to be such a cool interview. Yes, finally, okay, all right. What in the stable here is your favorite?
What show?
Yeah. Do you have one?
No.
Okay.
I can't say I have a favorite because I like each one for a different reason.
Yeah.
And they're all so different. And I think that's what's so great about our collection of shows. You can't compare any of them to one another. Even if you tried to say, well, Bee Gees and Human Nature is in the same basket, it's not. Right. It's completely different. And they are great for totally different reasons. Boyz II Men I love because the era of music, and I wouldn't say I'm traditionally an R&B fan, but I knew every single song. They give it 110%, and it's one of the best shows in Vegas, hands down. I think it gets voted #1 show like every year from some poll, whether it's TripAdvisor, Yelp, or Best, whatever it might be. But it's so good.
Do you, in your area, the Girls' Night Out, and maybe in the larger sense, Spy, are the reviews on TripAdvisor very important to you?
I think, in my opinion, people are more likely to go on to give a negative review than they are a positive review. Right. That's just my opinion on those sites. So when somebody goes out of their way to write a positive review, I think that it means even more. Yeah.
Frank
Marino.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. How's his show doing?
Amazing.
Yeah.
His show is so good. See, we have to go to all the shows all the time.
Right.
And sometimes I stay home because we have a 3-year-old, so I don't go as much as I used to. But his show, he's always changing it. So that's what's so fun about that.
Yeah. I've been here since 2001, and he is one of those guys that he just never goes away.
No, he'll be here forever.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, but he's able to evolve as the market evolves.
Exactly. And that's what's so great about his show. So he does have some of the traditional divas, like Liza Minnelli and Patti LaBelle. I think he still has her. And I don't know if he has Patti LaBelle, but some of Bette Midler and some of those divas. But now he has Britney Spears, who is so hot. Like, you cannot even believe that it's actually a guy. I mean, it's amazing how beautiful she is as Britney Spears. Lady Gaga, Pink, and as these new stars evolve, he puts them in the show. So it makes it so much fun because the show is very contemporary with the classics. And that's what makes it so good. Yeah. So the whole entire time, every single song. It doesn't get old. It doesn't get boring because you're having fun and you can sing along and have a good time.
All right. All right. You're a Vegas local.
Yeah.
Born and raised here. Your family goes back, what, to the 1940s? Where did they move from?
New Mexico.
Oh, okay, so it's not that far.
Not that far, no. They moved, actually, my grandparents moved to Boulder City.
Oh.
So
they were part of the dam building, or?
No, they weren't. It was after the fact.
Okay.
But they did live in a government-owned home, so like the government care of everything.
Right.
We still have my grandparents have passed away, but we still have my grandma's house. It's considered a historical home, so we can't change it on the outside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
In your role, the Girls' Night Out, you work with a lot of the other producers as well.
Yeah.
The other show people here in town, the restaurants and all that. You've seen the evolution from when we were just shows and gaming to now everyone's like, I might put a $20 bill in, but I'm here for the food and all that.
Yeah.
Where do you see this evolving to? Do you see it?
Well, for me, I think Vegas Girls' Night Out, we found this niche.
Oh, definitely.
And the way that we do it and the things that we have created, the packages and making it very easy, I think I want to take that and just make a cookie cutter model to do a generic site, not specifically for women, but a generic site anybody can go to.
Right.
You know? And make it simple like that. Like, oh, you want to go see Human Nature and then you want to have dinner at X, Y, and Z and then you want a limo down to the Vegas sign.
Yeah.
There's your package.
There it
Here
is.
it is. It's with a bow on it and it's $100.
Yeah. To be honest with you, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because I get people, I will take them out to the Hoover Dam and they're like, okay, we're going to go to this show at this time. Where can I go to get a meal, a nice meal, and know that I'm going to have time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's how, like, another thing with Vegas Girls' Night Out, and with girls, that's why we have this down to a science. Okay, so you have 10, 15 girls. Imagine wrangling all those girls together. They're all doing their hair, they're all doing makeup, and we're always late, right? So, okay, well, you need to be at dinner. We're making your reservation at dinner at 6:15. You're gonna go from 6:15 to 7:45. The limo is gonna pick you up at 7:55 from the restaurant. It's going to take you to the Vegas sign. You are all going to get your photo there, and then it's going to drop you off at the show. So their entire Saturday night is going to be on a schedule.
Yeah.
There's no opportunity to be late to the show unless they're late. But if you get them all on that schedule, because you don't want to, every time I get on the phone, you don't want to miss the opening of the Thunder Show. It's one of the best parts, and we get them to every place they need to be on time. And since we're making the dinner reservation as well, and they prepaid for it, since it's a prefix menu, as soon as they sit down, the food starts coming. The restaurant knows they have to be out of here by 7:45, no later. So the restaurant is now getting them out on time. The restaurant is keeping them on schedule. The limo driver is keeping them on schedule. Everybody is keeping them on schedule, so they're not missing anything, and they don't have to worry about it. They can drink and party and take shots because everybody else is going to make sure that they are where they need to be.
Damn. You got that niche down.
We have it down, and I think that it would work great for everybody else. If you know how hard it is when you plan a trip. I travel a lot, and I just want to call one place and say, okay, I want to go here, 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 and I want 4 dinners over the weekend, and I want transportation, and I don't want to worry about anything. And then put the schedule together.
There it is. Just go for it.
Here's what we recommend.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Growing up in Vegas, I like this because I got to talk to Lorena Hunt. Okay, and she gave a speech once where she was talking about how she would sit on, as a kid she'd go to school and then go over to the Sahara and watch Frank Sinatra on stage.
How crazy is that?
And to her this was normal. And when she went to school, when she went to college outside of Vegas, everyone was like, "Oh my God, you got to see, us in action." And, she's like, "Yeah, we had dinner."
That's going to be my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
My experience is definitely different because.
Oh yeah, but.
Well, I lived in Boulder City.
I love Boulder City.
I went to high school in Vegas, so I went to Bishop Gorman.
Okay.
Which is one of the main big high schools.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of my classmates' parents were something in Vegas.
Right.
For example, now when I went to high school, the Tobins and they all went to Gorman, and the Fertitas kids all go to Gorman. Those type of people go to that high school. So you had that experience as well. I wasn't necessarily friends with them, but prom would be in the presidential suite. Our after party for prom would be in the presidential suite at the Mirage, because somebody's dad is something at MGM, or cool experiences like that are very different than anywhere else. But then I was lucky enough to have that hometown, small town feeling as well, because I grew up in Boulder City. And so I had the best of both worlds, which is very interesting. My parents aren't, and they aren't part of the Vegas scene, so I wasn't, doing all that kind of stuff.
Well, see, it's just that people that come to Vegas now, they always think that Vegas was 2 million people.
Right. No, it was really small. So when my grandma moved here, my grandparents moved here, they lived in Boulder City, but my grandma worked on the Strip. So she worked at the Riviera, and she worked at, some of the major casinos. And before she passed away, she had some of the most amazing stories about serving, the Rat Pack and the people that would come in. And back in those days, like in the 50s or, late 40s and 50s and 60s, everybody got dressed up. And when they went to dinner, it was a big thing. It was a big thing, yeah. And especially people traveling here. So
I know I've met people from that era here, and when you're at a gathering that is Vegas specific, you can literally point them out, because it's 9 o'clock at night at a very casual event, but they're dressed up.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were raised. You did not go out of your house in Vegas when the sun set unless you had a tie and a sport coat on.
I love it. I wish Vegas was like that. I miss going to a show. I mean, I try to dress, I wouldn't say I get super dressed up when we go out, but I try to, I always have my heels on, and I try to dress nice when we go out. Yeah. But I miss that. I wish that today's tourists would not come to a show in flip-flops and shorts and a t-shirt. I wish they put a little bit more into it. A little bit more. Mm-hmm. It'd
be nice. Is there a particular thing you miss about Vegas from that era? Is there a property that you miss, or?
Well, I'm obviously very young. I wasn't around for then. But when the Riviera, when they decided to implode the Riviera, I was so sad. And I knew there probably wasn't much that could have been done.
Right.
I don't know, but it made me sad because my grandma worked there.
Yeah.
And it was like the last one to go, and it made me really sad that it's gone.
Well, I know I had stayed there right before they closed, and they were a family. Mm-hmm. The people in there, they've worked there 20, 30 years.
Yeah, it's sad. And before I did this, I was in PR, and that was the Riviera was one of my accounts. So I got to work on it. When my grandma was still alive, I got to work on the Riviera, on the account. So, I think the Riviera kind of held a special place in my heart, maybe because my grandma worked there, and it's just sad. It was, the last one to go.
Yeah, well, that it's something that you grew up around.
Yeah.
I mean, I always laugh when again, going back to when I take people off the Strip, they're like, "Wow, you have houses."
Growing up, people would ask me if I lived in a hotel. All the time. I'm like, no.
Which hotel?
Yeah, and even today when we go places, they just can't believe that I live in Vegas and I have a family, and am I really going to raise my children there? Yes, I grew up there, and look, I'm so normal.
Yeah, you're not.
It's usually the people that come here from somewhere else that get into that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But when you're born and raised, I'm like, yeah, I'm 20 minutes off the strip. I'm far enough away to live a normal life, and I have trees and grass and parks and churches. But I'm close enough to dip in and take what I need and go. Some of the most amazing restaurants in the entire world are in Vegas.
Yes.
The best spas, the most luxurious hotels, the best shopping. Adam's business partner from Australia, when she comes here, this is the place. She thinks it's better than New York, than LA, than anywhere. She's like, no, I don't need to go anywhere else to go shopping. Vegas is the best.
When I go to another town, like when I go home, back to Minnesota, I'm from Minnesota, and it's so funny because we will take the red eye. Sunday night, we get back into Minneapolis, we get to our hotel room, it's 11 o'clock at night.
You're starving.
Yeah, and it's like, we'll look at each other and go, what do you want? I could go for a prime rib. Yeah, at 11 o'clock at night in Minneapolis on a Sunday night, you ain't
Not
finding
happening,
it.
yeah.
Here it's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I won't say that, I can't say that I traveled to too many places that closed down. I mean, my traditional, like New York, LA, we just got back from DC, but
Cool.
We go to Iowa because my husband lived there for a little bit, but so I do experience that a little bit in Iowa, but luckily the pizza shop is open, I think, till midnight, so if we have to, we can go down and get a slice. But no, it is difficult. I've never lived anywhere else, so I've never experienced that. I couldn't imagine.
This is your life.
This is my life. I couldn't imagine, and I have considered moving to other places. Adam and I have talked about it, and he goes, you wouldn't be able to handle the fact at 9 o'clock at night you want to get something to eat and everything's closed. And I'm like, you're right. I have no clue what that's like.
Yeah.
I can go to the grocery store at midnight if I need to. Oh shoot, we need milk in the morning. I can go run down to wherever and get it.
With you being a native and your family being a native, this is going to be a little bit different series of the usual questions. What are 3 things you think every Vegas tourist should see when they come here?
It depends on the tourist. Okay. So I feel like every trip is a different experience.
Right.
It depends on what you're what you're into. So I'll tell you bachelorette party.
Okay, fine. Let's say you have a group of women who have never been here.
Okay. It's a girls' trip.
Girls trip.
Okay. The Vegas sign.
Okay.
I think everyone should get a photo in front of the Vegas sign. I never did it until my bachelorette party.
Really? Okay, local, yeah.
Yeah, so why would I do it?
Yeah.
But it's my favorite photo of me and all my girls, and it's so iconic, and they have these guys that stand out there and they do it for free and they take it, and they're professional photos, and then you just give them a tip and they give you the photo.
Right.
And so they come out really great, and it's great for social media.
Yep.
That's the first thing. Let's see. The second thing I think you need to do if you're on a girls' trip is see Thunder from Down Under.
Oh, definitely.
Even if you think, oh, I'm not into that type of show, you're into it. Because it's not that slimy, gross stripper that, wants dollar bills. First of all, it's no tipping. The Australian culture doesn't tip. So that's what makes the show very unique. Oh. No tipping. So you don't need to worry about bringing your $1 bills and having some guy grind all over you and really gross.
Right.
No, you don't. The performers are amazing. Their accents, awesome.
Okay, stop there. They are real.
100%.
Really?
You cannot be in the show unless you're from down under, meaning Australia or New Zealand. So most of them are from Australia, a few are from New Zealand.
Okay.
We have my husband's business partners live in Australia, so they do a lot of the casting, which I might lean over the computer and give my 2 cents.
Difficult, yes.
Very difficult, very difficult.
Yes.
And they go through, these are regular blokes, as the Aussie says. They're regular blokes. They were a carpenter, a helicopter pilot, whatever. Yeah. That's what makes it so unique, because they're not real performers. They were real men.
They were just hunks that day.
Really super hot guy that came over to be your handyman in Australia, and now you're flying halfway across the world to be a performer in an international show. Not only is Thunder in Vegas, but there's also 2 touring shows that tour nationally and internationally. Right now, they're in Tahiti, and another group is somewhere else. I mean, they're all over. We're going to Europe, Asia, everywhere. So that's what I love about Thunder, is that it's regular guys. It would literally be, you're at home wherever you live, and the guy that's the carpet installer, if he's super hot in Australia, he might be flying over to Vegas, because that's what we like. We like real men.
Wow.
And then we put them through a boot camp, and they learn how to be Thunder from down under. Yeah.
Okay, for being not your part of the niche, you seem to know a lot about them, but
Well, I do the bachelorette portion, so I have to sell.
Okay, got that one.
I have to sell them, but I feel you can't sell something you don't believe in, and yeah.
Every time I've ever sent women there, they've all thanked me. So
again, going back to the interactiveness of the show, they dance on the tables, they come into the audience, they are very much a part of the audience is very much a part of the show, which makes it so fun.
Third
thing, I would say a limo.
Do a limo.
I think that it creates the quintessential Vegas experience. Go up and down the strip, hang your arms out the side, scream, get the bottle of champagne. All of our limos come with champagne.
Right.
Have that fun experience, because we used to do that for our proms, like not the champagne portion, but
yeah, right.
But that's what we would do, and that was so much fun. And I did it for my bachelorette party, and I just think as a group, that is the fun part. And it's not fun trying to get in like 3 or 4 different cabs.
No,
that's not fun.
Or
Uber, but yeah, that's not fun.
Other than your shows, what is a Vegas hidden gem? Something that you don't think gets the recognition, or people are surprised to find here?
Well, I think outside of the strip, I think it's absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
I think we're one of the most beautiful states in the country. I think Red Rock is amazing, Valley of Fire, Hoover Dam, Lake Mead. If you want a different experience, I think that doing like a boat tour out on the lake and going over to Hoover Dam and seeing that, it's amazing. It's amazing. Hiking down to the hot springs. I did a kayak trip on the Colorado, just by Willow Beach with my aunt and uncle, my husband's aunt and uncle, and it was amazing.
Other than your shows, name another Vegas show that you like, or shows.
Okay, J-Lo. I think it's my number one. She's amazing. The energy is amazing. I don't know how this woman dances for that long, full out the entire time, singing, the choreography, the costumes, everything about it. The production is amazing. It's amazing. It's my number one. And then I'd say I also really love Absinthe. Who doesn't love Absinthe?
Yeah. I was so happy to see that it's going to stay at
because the tent is so unique. I love that tent. It's all about the experience. It's all about the experience, and it's different, and the way you sit, and I love it.
That was originally supposed to be at the Fontainebleau, and I could not imagine that show being at the Fontainebleau.
Yeah, it just makes sense. It's so cool. Yeah.
Really quick, kind of going back, Vegas was known for a while there as this is where artists went to die.
Right. Now it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Now you want to come to Vegas.
I mean, now, when J-Lo came here, I was told that it kind of made the other artists there, Britney and everyone else, kind of step up their game.
Surprised me.
And I'm kind of getting that feedback a lot from a lot of people. Now Vegas is a competition to come here, and you got to bring your A game.
Yeah, and I think the other really great thing, I assume, about Vegas for some of these artists is that when you get to a point in your career, and I think you're at a certain age as well, it would be so tiring to be touring all the time. And if you have little kids, like J-Lo and Britney, they have small children. Imagine touring all the time, your kids and in and out and moving them around in school. When they're here, they're in one place. They have their set dates. They go to work. They come home, just like Celine, It made it, I would think it makes it easier.
I remember...
And they're getting a nice payday.
Pardon?
They're getting a nice payday too, so I think that helps.
I remember when Holly Madison first moved here and started to do her show, she was living at Planet Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And she had kind of made that reference, it's like, when you're on tour, you're, hotel suite, but
Yeah.
here, our hotel suites are houses.
Mm-hmm.
They're
big penthouse apartments, yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I don't have to unpack
Yeah.
for 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
And move around. For me, why I love Vegas so much is not only do you have all of that right here at your fingertips, but you can make what you want out of it.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
have the nature, you have the everything else, the suburbia,
Right.
if you will. You don't have to be immersed in the strip life.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You're raised in Boulder City.
Yeah. Yeah.
Small town, mid-America.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt B, Andy Griffith, the whole works.
Yeah.
And then
you can just whoop, you're in it.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the world here.
And then look at our airport now. It's becoming, such an international hotspot to travel in and out of. We're building we have so many more international flights that they have to build more gates just because of the travelers coming in internationally. Our direct flights, you can fly direct from here to London.
Right.
Do you know how amazing that is?
Yeah.
I don't have to go through LAX anymore. I don't have to go to San Francisco. I can just get right over to Europe.
Yeah, I love it when...
And they can get to us.
Yes, yeah.
Easily.
I mean, you have folks that go, so, what's the benefit of living here?
What's not?
I can get out of here in 30 minutes.
And no traffic.
Yeah.
We don't have traffic. Okay.
We do have traffic, but not LA style
We
traffic.
we have traffic at rush hour.
Right.
But we don't have all day traffic.
No.
You could go to DC, we were just in DC. It doesn't matter what time of day. You're in traffic.
Yeah.
You go to Houston, you're in traffic all day. You go to LA, traffic. I mean, 2 hours to go 10 miles?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yeah. When I do my tours in LA, our hotel will be at LAX, and we're going to Hollywood. That's 15 miles away.
It takes like an hour and a
It's
half.
2 hours.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I could never do it.
Yeah, I'm like.
But if we want to go to LA, it's an hour flight.
Yes.
It's a 5-hour drive. It's so easy to get there. I need a beach. Boom, I'm there.
Yeah. Or,
Nothing.
Okay, Germany. In the fall, there's some great flights to Germany for like,
Yes.
$150.
Right now, there's a same thing with to I think it was London or Paris. These great cheap flights, easy. And our international. I don't know if you've flown into Vegas internationally.
Not yet.
It is so easy. We fly international a lot. Miami. Oh my God, headache. LAX. I won't even go there. LaGuardia, O'Hare. It's a pain in the butt what you go through to go through customs,
Right.
but in Vegas, it's so easy.
Yeah, I was at the opening or the open house for Terminal 3.
Yeah.
And when they walk you through how the internationals come through, I'm just like, oh, this is so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
It is really cool.
final question, maybe. Favorite Vegas movie?
Casino.
All right, okay.
What else is there to compare to? And great, my grandma was alive when that came out, and we would talk about it because she remembers every single thing that happened.
Isn't that cool?
And my mom remembers when his car blew up and the Tony Roma's where it was at and everything about it. My mom's best friend played tennis with Spilatro, his wife.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how, small world. And side story, do you remember in the movie when the kid messed up the slot machines and the cowboy came in and was like, you're going to give my nephew another chance, and he said no.
Yes.
Then his gaming license came to the top.
Went on.
We know that person. He lived in Boulder City. He went on.
The cowboy?
The cowboy.
Okay,
the cowboy went on to help my parents with their business.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yes.
Totally small world.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a county commissioner, and then he went on to become the director of aviation at McCarran Airport.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've either watched that movie or I've watched part of it with people who were from that era, and it's
Yeah.
the same thing. I remember when that happened. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Yeah. Pause
And it's
it.
weird when you know the people.
Yes.
Like you know who they were based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because when you have people that come here and things happen in Vegas that don't happen anywhere else, and they go, why does that happen? And the only answer that you can come up with, it's Vegas. Mm-hmm. It just happens in Vegas.
Yeah.
There's no other answer, and they're looking at me going, okay, it's Vegas. So
Yeah.
cool. All right, Girls Night Out. How do they get a hold of you?
You can go to our website,
Which is?
vegasgirlsnightout.com.
Okay.
Simple.
Simple night.
Our phone number is 702-701-7778.
Okay.
You can call. We have agents and
Everything
we have
like
a
that?
chat on our website.
Really?
Yeah, you can live chat us during business hours.
Cool.
You can send us an email at info@vegasgirlsnightout.com. There's also a form on our website you can fill if you know what you want to do. You can fill it out and then we get back to you and help you out with everything. You can purchase online, whatever you want.
Cool. How do they get a hold of? How would they get more information on the shows for SPI Entertainment?
They can go to spyentertainment.com, SPIentertainment.com,
Cool. All right.
and there's information on there. Our Vegas Girls Night Out has all of our shows too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duh. I'm sorry. It's just haven't had lunch yet, so cool. All right. Any last words? Any words of wisdom, piece of advice, Vegas tourists, anything? Come on out and see us.
One word of advice, don't try and walk. It's an optical illusion. Everybody thinks that the casinos are so close together.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, no problem. I can walk to Venetian. I'm at Mandalay Bay. No, you can't. You need a car. You need something it's
Keep hydrated.
keep hydrated, especially in the summer. And if you plan on going to pool parties and drink, for every drink, have a water. That's my rule.
Where's your favorite pool party? Do you have
I
one?
think I like Surrender, or Encore Beach Club, I mean. I think that's the official name, Encore Beach Club. I
right.
think it's fun.
That's a cool place.
It's big. You can get the cabanas and...
We're back.
Yes, we are. That was a cool interview.
That was Bri.
Yeah.
Ought to hear what's on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, all right. That would be interesting to know.
I am going to get her to give me permission to put that on because we get into about a 20-minute conversation on Vegas education, which is fascinating. She's a fun person to talk with. She's a smart person, very bright, very intelligent, and if you see the video, she's also very, very beautiful. But anyway, so. All of the links we talked about, all of the things that we talked about are in the show notes, the links, the comments, things like that. And that is, what is the website, babe?
TheVegasTourist.com.
There it is. Comment. Leave us your questions. Like it. Subscribe to us. Follow us on all the usual social media sites.
We're out there everywhere.
Almost out there.
Almost.
All right.
We are out there.
We're out there.
Almost out there everywhere.
Any final words there, babe?
Nope. Until next time.
Told you we're tired. I'm Mark.
I'm Debbie.
This is the VegasTourist.com podcast. See you all next week.